All right, good morning, YouTube. Welcome back to the Sovereign Grooming Company Facebook channel. I want to thank you for being here today for my weekly rotation. I want to continue to welcome new subscribers that are coming in. I really appreciate you all taking your time to watch these videos, and thank you for subscribing to my channel. I truly do appreciate it. A couple things that I usually talk about at the beginning. I have a Facebook group. It's called Welcome to FragCom. We started it with the intention of having it be one of the friendliest places that you could go. A place where if you were a little bit newer to the fragrance game, you could come and ask questions. People wouldn't be snobby or rude or, all the other kind of drama and stuff that happens in a lot of the other Facebook groups. So far, we're doing pretty good. So I will link that group in the description. Come on and join us if you're on Facebook. Also, I post my Sin of the Day on Instagram every day. So if you'd like to check that out, go ahead and follow me on Instagram and we can interact there and I'll check out what you're posting. You can look at the scents that I'm wearing and some other stuff as well. So with that out of the way, this is my weekly rotation video. So these are the fragrances that I wore the past 7 days. So we'll start out here. The very first one is Sapphire by Genre Parfums. This is based on or an inspiration of Armani Privé's Blue Lazuli. This is a really nice fragrance. It's fairly different from a lot of the stuff that I have. Ultimately, it comes down to sort of a vanilla-y kind of fragrance in the base, which I obviously love. But this one's pretty neat because it has some like tea, or maybe it was mate, I can't remember what exactly the note was, and cardamom and some different spices in the top. So anytime you get stuff like that mixed with the vanilla and those kind of notes, it comes out to something really interesting. So if you haven't checked this one out, I definitely recommend it. This is Sapphire from Genre Parfums. And then I decided to start digging into some bottles that I hadn't worn in quite a while. I had done a couple of theme weeks and I had done a fragrance of the week, and I was trying to figure out what to do, and I couldn't quite think of anything, so this is a little bit random this week. So, from the House of Guerlain, this is the cologne version of the Ideal line, and if you've tried any of these, they all share this kind of creamy almond sort of note, and this one is a little bit lighter, a little bit fresher, but it's still got that almond thing going on. They all share the same DNA, but this cologne version, super smooth, really nice, and definitely good for warm weather. This one is a pretty popular one. Highly recommend you check it out if you haven't before. Next, I went with the only fragrance from the house of Issey Miyake that I own, and this is a flanker to the Pour Homme line, and this is Shade of Lagoon, Day 2, 10:28 a.m. And this is, again, it's a flanker, so I have a handful of flankers here. This one's got kind of there's some citrus to it, but also some woody, cedary notes in the base. So it's that sort of fresh fragrance with some wood to it. This one's pretty interesting. I just sort of picked this one up on a whim because I saw somebody post about it a while back, and it's good. It's good, nice and fresh. It's been fairly hot here, so I was trying to stay with stuff that's lighter, that's kind of fresh. Again, pretty much the majority of this stuff has some citrus in there, even if it does dry down to vanilla or dry down to like cedar or woody kind of notes. So that was the Issey Miyake. Here's another bottle that I hadn't worn in a while, and I don't know why, but this is Gorse from Laboratory Perfumes, and this one's pretty self-explanatory. This is another sort of inspired fragrance, I guess, of Creed's Virgin Island water. Smells great. I think this one has a lot more lime up front, so if you're into lime, then this is a great option. I mean, it's a great option anyway. It's a pretty reasonable price, around $100 or a little less than $100 for the 100 ml bottle. In fact, I know somebody that you can buy this from right now, Jeff Sofian, if he's watching. He's selling it. You can reach out to him in our Facebook group. But anyway, awesome fragrance, Gorse from Laboratory Perfumes. With another inspired fragrance. So, wait, let's see. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So now we're at Thursday. Sorry, I didn't tell you the day. I usually say what day it was. So now we're on Thursday. I went with another inspired fragrance. This one is from the house of Squirts Exclusive Aromatics, a company whose marketing I question all the time, so I'm sorry for questioning the marketing. I do like the new labels. In case you hadn't checked those out, those are far better than what we used to have, and these come in a little plastic squirt bottle, which is why they're called squirts. I should have brought that with me. And then he also gives you the decant sprayer to put it in. But this one is Bergamot and Sublime. So let's see, I think it was last week, maybe I wore Splendid Vanille from Alexandria Fragrances, which is inspired by Creed's Sublime Vanille, and I love that fragrance. This takes Sublime Vanille and adds Bergamot 22, and it combines the two together. So this is one of the sort of trends of combining niche fragrances that we're starting to see from some of the inspiration houses, and it's really nice. So Sublime Vanille kind of has that citrusy thing going on over the top of a vanilla, a light, sweet but fruity vanilla that is excellent for hot weather. And this just amps up the citrus a little bit because it adds that bergamot to it. And this don't you know these are very affordable, and this smells great, so don't sleep on this fragrance. Bergamot and Sublime combination, check it out. That was Thursday. Now Friday I went with this. This is another flanker release. This is one that came out this year, 2019, earlier in the spring, I think. It's Gentleman Givenchy Cologne. It doesn't say cologne on there, but you can tell it's this one by the white bottle and the white cap. So this is another one. I compare it a little bit to the Issey Miyake because it's the same kind of designer, fresh, citrus opening with woody notes in the dry down. Now this one I bought mostly to decant, and I sold a few decants of it, but not as many as I'd hoped, so I sort of put it to the side and never actually wore it other than maybe to spray it on my arm at some point, and I was missing out. So this is a nice fragrance. Again, another fresh cologne fragrance, because cologne is the cologne flanker is something that's been really big as of recently. I think Josh from Smells Like has said that too. So this is another one, but it's definitely worth checking out. Great hot weather fragrance, especially if you like this Gentleman Givenchy line. So that was Friday, and then we will close things out with yesterday's scent of the day, and this one is Darley from Parfums de Marly. I have a couple of fragrances from this house, and they're both very good. This one's no exception. So you can tell, I picked up a partial. I didn't use all of this bottle. I bought it this way from somebody. This is very much a unisex fragrance, although this one does get compared a lot to, what am I thinking of? I can't believe this is a very common fragrance. Oh yeah. Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Male. This gets compared to that one, only like a high-end niche version. So this is, gosh, a lot of fragrances this week had sort of citrusy notes, fading into vanilla, tonka, or other sweet sort of things in the base. So I wore this one yesterday. This is the only one of the week that is maybe not the best for the super hot weather, but it is still, it's a good like spring, early summer fragrance, summer nights, that kind of thing. But a little bit on the sweet side, but very nice fragrance. Darley from Parfums de Marly. And that wraps up the weekly rotation. Here is what I'm going to be wearing today to church to kick off this week's rotation. I'm wearing Cocobello from Healy, one of my favorite coconut fragrances. So we'll talk about this one a little bit more next week. But again, thank you so much for tuning into this video. Go ahead and join the Facebook group. Follow me on Instagram. Share the video. Comment. I'd love to know what your scent of the day is, or if you've worn any of these 7 fragrances, what you think of them. And I will see you next time. Thanks so much.